Chapter 17. Traylon heard Cree curse when the door knockers in front of him began to talk. He shrugged and touched the comm link on his wrist. A frown creased his brow when nothing happened. "Dulcie, why is the program running?" Traylon asked in frustration. "Dulcie, are you there?" "What's wrong?" Zoran asked. "The comm link must be down. No one is answering," Traylon growled. "Dulcie, shut down the program." "Who dares enter the Queen's castle?" the left ghoul hanging from the door asked. "The twin dragons dare to enter," Cree growled. "Well, why didn't you say so?" the knocker exclaimed, and the huge doors opened. "I don't remember programming that into the program," Traylon muttered. Both door hangers watched with glee as the men entered. None of the men saw the two golden figures that emerged from the animated faces after the doors closed. If they had, they might have been a little more hesitant to enter. Shut in the darkness, the men turned around in a tight circle when the walls suddenly came alive. "What should we do next?" Arilla asked, watching the men below her. "Oh, they have to see how creative the younglings have been," Arosa insisted, flicking a hand at the doors leading to the hidden corridors and locking them. "What fun would it be if they couldn't do that?" "You don't think Ikaterina would consider this interfering, do you?" Arilla asked, gazing at her sister. "No, we aren't changing the course of their existence. We are helping the little ones have some fun and giving the men a little push in the right direction. There is no harm in that," Arosa assured her. "Besides, I can't wait to see what happens. The little ones have been so creative." "I do love watching how their minds work," Arilla agreed. "Oh, they're getting on the ride. Let's follow." "I can't believe I waited so long for this," Riley groaned, sitting back in the chair at the cafe and picking up her drink. "Tina, we are going to have to plan a weekly girls' day out." "I can't believe all the great bargains we got, and the fact that we don't have to carry it all," Tina replied with a sigh. "Am I the only one with aching feet?" "No," a chorus of feminine voices echoed. "I think the only one still going is Kara," Abby murmured in an exhausted voice. "I don't know how she does it. Personally, I think it should be against the law for anyone to have that much energy and not share their secret," Ariel groaned, kicking her shoes off and wiggling her toes. "I really like the outfit you picked out, Tina," Melina said with a shy smile. "You look really good in red." "Thank you, Melina," Tina replied with a grin. "I'll let you know how Viper feels about it, especially after he gets the bill." "He lost the bet," Riley replied with a wave of her hand. "No whining about paying up." "Hey, the chef has a new appetizer platter that I told him we'd love to try out," Kara said, sliding into the only vacant chair left. Riley's head rolled on her shoulders and she glanced at Kara. "Does it have chocolate as part of the ingredients?" she asked in a slow drawl. "Yep, that's what I went to check on to make sure he got the supply I had ordered for him," Kara laughed. "Chocolate, the elixir of the gods," Trisha moaned. "I thought that was wine," Melina said with a frown. "Honey, if you put wine and chocolate together, then you get a mind-blowing orgasm that not even the goddess could stop you from achieving," Riley replied dryly. "Really?" Melina asked in surprise. "I didn't think anything could beat the twins," she murmured, before blushing madly when the women burst into laughter. "Do you think we should check on the kids?" Ariel finally asked with a breathless sigh. "No," Morian replied in a firm voice. All the women turned to look at her in surprise. She was leaning back in her seat, swirling the wine in her glass. She gave them all a serene smile. "Trust me, the men can handle this," she added with a mysterious smile. "Sounds good to me," Trisha said with a shrug. "Oh my goodness, this looks fabulous," she exclaimed when the chef came out to place his newest creation in front of them. Oh, yes, the guys are definitely on their own, she groaned as she picked up one of the tasty morsels and bit into it. Yes, they are, Morian murmured with a smile. Get in, Zoran ordered. Haven and Vox both shook their heads. No way, they both said with a stubborn expression. I remember what happened the last time we got on one of these things, Vox growled. Yes, and you ended up loving it, Zoran reminded him. I've got a bad feeling about this, Zoran, Haven muttered. There's nothing to worry about, Traylon assured them. You sit in the seats and it takes you through the castle. Once we find the kids, I'll hit the emergency stop button and we can get out. Zoran grimaced. Maybe we should just follow the tracks, he muttered. Well, I've been wanting to test it out one last time before the festival starts tomorrow, so I'm riding it. Plus, it will make it easier to focus on finding the kids, Traylon retorted. Zoran watched as his younger brother strode over to the beginning of the ride and climbed into one of the chairs. He released the breath he held and muttered a not-so-silent curse under his breath before he followed Traylon. You'd better hope this goes smoothly, Traylon, or I swear Kara isn't going to be the only one you're going to have to deal with, Zoran said under his breath. It will be fine, Traylon retorted, glancing over his shoulder as the other men climbed onto the ride. I mean, what could go wrong? The programming is just holograms. It isn't like anything is actually going to attack us or anything. Holograms, Zoran repeated, staring warily at the chair. What is this for? It's called a steering wheel. It doesn't really do anything, just makes you feel like you can guide the chairs. While it looks like all the chairs are connected, they are actually independent of each other. There will be times when you can go one way and I'll go the other before we meet back up, he explained. How many times have you been on this thing? Keelan asked, sitting forward to talk to Traylon. Once, with the completed program, but Kara and the guys have been on it hundreds of times before that. I just programmed the Queen and her minions. Kara, Dulcie, and the other engineers designed everything else, Traylon admitted. She's had the twins on here. That's why the chairs and safety harness are designed the way they are. Keelan started to say, when he was forced back into his seat when a set of straps came out and connected over his shoulders and across his lap. This is not making me feel safer, Traylon, Keelan gritted out. It is a safety feature. There's nothing to worry about, Traylon called out to the men behind him. It's just like the other rides. How much damage can I inflict before Kara gets mad, Zoran? Haven asked from the back of the ride. He's already got Amber and Jade. I don't think you could inflict any more damage than that, Mandra joked before he cleared his throat. Sorry, Traylon. So much for brothers sticking together, Traylon retorted good-naturedly. Might I remind you that Christmas is coming? I can think of at least a dozen different new pets that would be perfect for Jabir as a present. Don't you dare, Mandra groaned, as the other men laughed. It's moving, Vox muttered. Why is my cat suddenly trying to crawl out of my skin and run? Hang on, everyone, Traylon said, when he saw the tracks drop off and an empty space up ahead. Great, Zoran said, just before his stomach dropped. Where are we heading? Creon yelled from several seats back. The dungeons, Traylon replied, gripping the steering wheel.